So far, you've heard a bunch of bullshit from mature adult time. But get ready. You're about to hear the interview series, where we sit down and talk to people. Stay tuned and listen. You might find something you like.
Hey guys, welcome to Mature Adult Time, the interview series. I'm Eric Kaz, and I'm sitting here with my buddy Zack Silvern. How's it going? How's it going, Zack?
It's going pretty well.
So this is actually the second time that we've sat down with Zack to talk sports. Zack's a good friend of the podcast and a big he's a coach and a big fan of sports. So the first time we sat down in our backyard and tried to have a good conversation. And we did have a good conversation, but I'm a dumbass and didn't hit record. So, we haven't released that one yet. Art was able to step in, realize that, and kind of bring some of the conversation back. But today we're sitting here with Zack, and we're going to talk some sports. You know, there's been a lot that's been going on.
It's been a lot with NBA free agency and the World Cup and.
So there's one thing that I saw yesterday that I did want to, because I know there were some things you want to talk about, but I did see, because we also have training camp that's coming up.
Football training camp,
which I'm excited about. And I saw that Tony Romo has predicted the Packers-Jags Super Bowl.
I saw that too.
Which is the first time that I've ever liked Tony Romo.
Even with as how old Tom Brady is and where the Patriots are going and all that, it's so hard to just discount Bill Belichick and how he can just adjust his offensive and defensive schemes to fit no matter what team he has. If Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, I could see the Packers in the Super Bowl again.
Because they're saying that, and I don't follow very much until preseason starts, to be honest, anymore. I used to follow training camp a lot, but there's too much information and it goes on for too long. But I did hear that Tony Romo also said earlier that the Packers were the most improved team. Which I didn't watch the draft very much this year, but I was happy that Ted Thompson wasn't managing the draft board.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I watched. The only part of the draft I really paid attention to this year was the Cowboys pick.
How did they do?
I think their first round pick, I thought they were going to go get one of the more dynamic receivers to replace Dez. And I know we need defense. I thought we were going to go more corners or safeties to replace, Jeff Heath is a good safety, but he's not where some of the other safeties in the league are. And we need corners and we need receivers, and we went and got a linebacker. And
So
I'm not pleased with it, but from what I've heard about the kid is that he's very versatile, very dynamic, and that he could really improve our linebacker play, which we do need because the Cowboys are constantly having players suspended for substance or whatever. I don't know what it is with the Cowboys, but it seems like every year.
I mean, I think what's it, Jerry Jones, right? That's the guy.
Yeah.
I think Jerry Jones. I mean, he's got to just breed negativity into that locker room. He's like breathes negativity and distraction like a vampire breathes fire, or a dragon breathes fire.
One thing about Jerry Jones is he definitely provides a lot of distraction in the locker room, but he does really love the players that he drafts, and it's really hard for me to fault the guy because honestly, if I was a NFL owner, I would be in the locker room all the time. I would be interviewing all the time. The passion for winning and just for the game of football he has, I kind of relate to him in that way where I don't think I'd be able to contain myself either. So, but I could see, it being very hard to play already with all the media attention the Dallas Cowboys get. It just kind of adds fuel to the fire, which can make it tough to play.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I'm glad I'm glad that the Packers are going back to the Super Bowl. I'm gonna take whatever Tony Romo says to heart, because one time
you listened to Tony Romo.
The one time, well, I really liked him as a commentator last year.
He was fantastic.
Like, hands down the best commentator.
Well, I mean, his eye for the game is unbelievable. I mean, yes, he's been doing it for not even at the NFL level, but just for his whole life.
His entire life.
How to read defenses and different schemes. But the way he was able to just predict plays based on how the quarterback either changed formation at the line of scrimmage or whatever. He was a lot of fun to listen to.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was great because who's his announcing partner?
Oh,
there were a couple games I listened to where he's like, how do you know all this, Tony? And it's like at one point he's like, well, I did play for a couple of years.
Yeah, I have been quarterbacking in the NFL for quite some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I could see as long as Aaron Rodgers stays healthy.
Yeah.
He's the key to that whole team.
Yeah.
Without Aaron Rodgers, I mean, Brett Hundley at UCLA was one of my favorite players of all time, but he's not quite NFL ready yet.
No, he's not. And that's the one thing that you do have to respect about Belichick is even when Brady goes down, when anybody goes down, he really does embody the next man up. Like you have a job to do, go do your fucking job. And I really like. As frustrating as it is to be on the other side, you got to respect it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, literally in the Patriots facility on the wall, it says, do your job.
Yeah.
That's his philosophy.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think as far as the Cowboys are concerned, I think the Eagles are going to be a problem. I think the Giants have gotten better.
Did they pick up Dez? Did
Dez
go to the Eagles?
Nobody's picked up Dez yet.
He wants too much money?
Well, the Ravens did offer him a contract, and he thought he was worth more than what they offered him, so he turned it down, and nobody's reached out to him since. So,
damn.
And, I mean, Dez Bryant is an excellent football player. He's not a good route runner. He's more of a go up and get the ball type of player.
Yeah. See, I mean, which, he could fit on the Packers.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what the Packers are going to do without Jordy Nelson. I don't know if they picked anyone up in his place.
I mean, I think that Devontae Adams. The problem with Jordy Nelson the last couple of years is he's just been too injured.
That's true.
And for I think the type of receiver that he was and the type of receiver that Aaron Rodgers needed him to be, those injuries just slowed him down. Just a step too much. Probably not a lot for like a lot of other teams or other schemes, but just I think the way that the type of football that Aaron Rodgers kind of plays that leads to having he needs someone that's going to have that one step, because a lot of times one step is all that he has, which I guess you could say for a lot of quarterbacks. But
that's true. But I feel like Jordy Nelson's going to fit in really well with the Raiders and Derek Carr, because you have
I could see that for sure.
You have Amari Cooper with that outside speed, so Jordy Nelson doesn't have to rely on what the player he used to be before injuries. He'll be able he's a very good route runner. So if he can get into space, it's going to free up pretty much the entire offense, because now they have to worry about Amari Cooper. They have to worry about Jordy Nelson, which was in turn is going to free up the running game for Marshawn Lynch. And it's the slot receiver, I'm not sure who their slot receiver is. I'm blanking on it, but he should be freed up in the middle of the field for crossing routes. And they have John Gruden, who is honestly one of my favorite coaches.
Gruden's back?
Gruden's back. He's with the Raiders.
Is this going to be his first year coaching with the Raiders? Since coming back?
Yeah, this is his first year out of retirement.
Damn.
So,
I mean, I love Gruden as a coach, and I hate him as an announcer, so that's great.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hard ass, and he's an old school football coach, and I think it'll be good for Derek Carr, who's an extremely young quarterback, and Gruden is an excellent quarterback coach.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Martavis Bryant. They picked up Martavis Bryant. He's in the slot. So their receiving core is scary. Martavis Bryant is one of the that's speedy players that can get down the field or get
Oh,
open
yeah?
in space. He played for the Steelers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun season. I'm excited. There's always a lot of talk about all of the drama and political bullshit and that goes around with football, which I can definitely understand. And there's also always talk about the concussions, but when opening day comes, I just love watching fucking football.
Oh, yeah, it's football.
Like, I just love football.
yeah, I mean, in the LA Rams, their defense, if it was top 5 last year for sure, and they just got better, which
Yeah.
which allows Jared Goff more freedom. He doesn't need to put up 28, 35 points a game because they have one of the best defenses in the league that has only gotten better, and they have, if not the best defensive coordinator in the league.
Who is this Josh Daniels?
It's Wade Phillips.
Oh,
I
Wade
believe.
Phillips. Oh, yeah, Wade Phillips is.
He coached the Broncos defense
Yeah,
to the Super Bowl.
and he was at Dallas for a long time too, right? Was it Wade Phillips at Dallas?
I might have the wrong name. You know what? I'm blanking on it. I don't know. Wade Phillips sounds familiar. It might be because he was, but he coached the Broncos to a Super Bowl, and I wholeheartedly believe without him as the defensive coordinator, Peyton Manning doesn't win his second. It is Wade Phillips.
It is Wade Phillips, yeah.
Doesn't win his second ring. What he did with the Rams defense last year was unreal.
Yeah, I'm excited because the Rams Stadium is pretty much right in our backyard here. I mean, it's right down the road,
And
so
it's almost done.
it's going to be done. I mean, they're not going to be playing there this year, and that's going to be a joint stadium, right?
Yeah, it's going to be the Rams owner is pretty much paying for the entire thing with his own money, and then the Chargers are just going to kind of borrow it, like rent it pretty much. It's not their stadium.
What a bunch of fucking losers the Chargers are. Like, first of all, you come to LA after we already got a team.
Yeah.
Like, you come to LA after the Rams move here. Like you're just like the little brother that just like follow. Like, come on, Mom said you have to take me with.
Yeah, that's exactly what pretty much is.
And then you get a new fucking stadium, and you're like, well, Mom said you had to take me to the park. Mom said you had to drive me around.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much spot on.
Fuck.
And
it's funny because Art and I were talking about this the other day, but anytime I've seen any designs for the Charger Stadium, or for the Ram Stadium, it's been done up like the Chargers.
Yeah.
Like all the sketches and shit. So.
Yeah. I mean, it should be one of the nicest stadiums in the NFL.
It looks cool. I drove by it the other day, and it looks really fucking sweet.
It's coming along. So hopefully by the start of training camp next year, we'll be able to go see the stadium. And
is it supposed to be open for next season?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And then the Raiders will be in Vegas, and we'll have our new stadium.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for football. I think the Cowboys are either going to finish first and second of their division, or they're going to completely bomb and last. They're either a playoff team or they're not. I have to see how the receiving core works out, whether...
So the one thing you think is they won't finish third?
No. They won't finish third.
You heard it here first.
Finish third. I think they could either be at the top of the NFC East,
yeah,
or they're just it's going to be terrible. I got to see how these receivers work together without a number one receiver. Technically, I mean, there is Allen Hurns, who's an excellent receiver, but he's no like Dez, he's no Jordy, he's no Julio Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Terrence Williams, who is he's a good receiver, but he's an average NFL receiver.
Okay.
And then we have Cole Beasley, who's, in my opinion, one of the best slot receivers in the NFL. He's very hard to cover. He's very fast. And then, of course, we still have Ezekiel Elliott in that offensive line, and Dak going into his third year, where he should understand the scheme a lot better.
Yeah.
He should have Zeke all year. But it's going to come down to the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Like, if we put up 28 points a game, but we can't play defense, it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you also mentioned there's obviously a lot of Lakers-related things to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Lakers had a good start to free agency.
Yeah.
And they're also playing really well in the Summer League.
So who plays in the summer league? Is it like people they just drafted, like or
usually
people who bench ride?
Usually
this season?
rookies and second-year players.
Okay.
Josh Hart, he's a second-year player. He plays point guard. He's pretty much leading the entire team. And the Lakers are not just beating teams in the tournament; they're throttling teams in the tournament.
And these are all people. These are all like kids. Like this isn't a slack off league. Like these are kids who want playing time. Like they're signed. Like they're not.
Some are signed and they're there for development.
Okay.
And then there's the other ones there that are fighting for a contract.
So the summer league is just like the minor leagues for baseball, kind of in a way.
Kinda, except it's just like 1 or 2 games. Then you enter a tournament.
Oh, okay.
And then it's one and done, and then there's a consolation bracket. But it's to help develop the younger players, see what your draft picks can do.
Oh, okay.
Before training camp against other,
people of their skill, like their skill level, their experience level.
Yeah,
at least.
exactly.
Yeah.
So and they're playing really well.
That's great. So do you think this guy's got a chance to take over Lonzo Ball's?
No, they played together last year.
Okay.
One thing that I did hear though is that the only guaranteed starting spot on the Lakers right now is LeBron James. So Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, and Rajon Rondo are all going to compete for a starting spot.
I forgot they did pick up Rondo.
Rondo.
Signed him for a year in free agency, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, one thing I really don't understand is the Lakers let Julius Randle walk. They gave up their rights to him for his to match his contract.
Okay.
Before they signed anybody in that position, so that I think they thought they were going to get Boogie Cousins, who ended up signing with the Warriors, which is just.
Well, the Warriors had to do something to fight LeBron.
I mean, I think they already did something to fight LeBron for the past couple of years. Like Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson aren't enough for one man.
I don't know. I mean, they.
Although this is not just one man.
They're probably enough for they were obviously enough for one man, but they might not be enough for LeBron and one other person. Like if LeBron had one other person playing, like actually playing with him, I don't think they would have gone. I mean, they probably wouldn't have won, but I don't think it would have been a blowout, sweep like that.
And I mean that's what I'm excited about. Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka, they sat down. They said it was going to be a 2 to 3 summer project. Like next year. There's a bunch of free agents out there. There's Kawhi, who already wants to be a Laker. Basically said, I don't want to be a rental, so don't trade me because I'm going to go to the Lakers. And the Lakers know that, and they're like, well, you know what? That's why trade talks have died down, because the Lakers were like, well, we're not going to overspend when we know we're going to get him. Although it's risky. I mean, look what happened with Paul George. Paul George was... for sure a Laker. We're like, we'll let the Thunder rent him for 1 year. Fell in love with the organization and Russell Westbrook, and he didn't even talk to the Lakers. He just re-signed.
Damn.
So, I mean, it should be a very exciting season for sure. Yeah. Just because, well, LeBron James, the king is here. Thank goodness. The losing days are over.
Although he still can't show up on time.
Oh, yeah, the Blaze Pizza thing.
Blaze Pizza, and he teases he's going to come out and then doesn't show up.
You know what he was doing? He was sitting in his pool with his kids. And I read an article about it. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to go anyway. Too many people. It would be chaotic. There was like 3 or 4 news vans there.
Oh, yeah, I drove by it that day. And it was in Culver City because it's right down the street. But, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a nightmare. But the losing days are over. We picked up a couple good pieces on 1-year contracts, which means that we're going to have enough money to sign another free agent next year, a big free agent next year. I mean, that's the plan.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed is usually where LeBron goes, other players will start to follow.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As long as you have a good organization around you, like look at the Warriors, for instance. Like everyone wants to play with KD, Steph, and all that. It's fun basketball.
Yeah.
I think when they see the Lakers type of basketball and the the kind of offense they run. It's kind of like run and gun, almost like Showtime back in the day, and see that it's similar to the Warriors and that we have young, exciting pieces. And I think we'll be able to get more players to help LeBron. And we have a better organization. We're not the Cavs organization where we just sign players that you think would fit well with LeBron.
And players that are going to fuck LeBron's mom.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's why you went to Miami in the first place. But I do think at the beginning of the season it's going to be there's going to be a lot of critics. It's going to be slow going. But if you think about it, that's how it has been with, except for LeBron's first couple seasons. Like when he went to Miami, they needed to learn to play together. It was slow going. They got it together.
Yeah,
Same thing when he went back to Cleveland.
I mean, someone with that, a player of that caliber, like you can't just throw him on a team and expect that whatever that team's scheme is gonna work with him, because he's the greatest player. Like the things that he does are beyond like whatever the scheme's gonna be. But so when is the first call for? Did we overpay for LeBron? Is LeBron done? Like when does the media start pushing that?
I give it maybe a month into the season when the Lakers are still losing. Because LeBron, for at least the past 3-4 seasons, he's been ball handling dominant. Like, he needs the ball in his hands. He gets the ball. It's very isolation basketball. Give LeBron the ball. Get the hell out of his way. Let him do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers' plan is to make LeBron work less. So give him the ball into space, give him the ball in the post, and let him score. As opposed to starting all the way, on the wing and having, to take on, just play one-on-one basketball till you get into the paint and then take on 4 people. The way we space the floor and everything and the ball movement, their plan is to make his job easier, prolong his career, and put pieces around him, and eventually win a championship in the next 2 to 3 years. That's the goal.
You don't think they have one this year?
No. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I really do. I'm a huge Laker fan, but honestly, the Warriors, even if DeMarcus Cousins isn't the same after coming back from this Achilles injury, it's still the Warriors with Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And as exciting as our young core is, they've never been in the playoffs. Ever.
Oh, yeah, they didn't make the playoffs this last year, did they?
Nope. They've never been in the playoffs. They don't know playoff basketball. I think we do make the playoffs this year. I think we win. I do think we win a series or 2.
Yeah, I mean, I guess also I would imagine not only making the playoffs, but making the playoffs with LeBron has got, that's another, there's playoff pressure, and then there's another level
with LeBron.
Yeah.
And then it's not even the Warriors, the Rockets too, with Chris Paul and James Harden. I think if Chris Paul didn't get hurt Game 7, I think the Rockets could beat the Warriors. Chris Paul didn't play the last 2 games of that series.
Damn.
I think the Rockets have the best shot right now at beating the Warriors.
All right.
Unless DeMarcus Cousins comes back healthy and strong and the player that he was this past year, because then the entire league is screwed. It's so disheartening. I remember sitting there the Lakers got LeBron, the Lakers got Lance Stevenson, the Lakers signed this player, they signed Rondo. And I'm sitting here we're going to be competitive. And then I looked down at my phone and I saw DeMarcus Cousins signs with the Warriors, and my heart just drops, and I'm like, so they went from a big 4 to a big 5, basically.
Damn.
And
that's pretty crazy.
And you can't fault the Warriors organization. They're doing their job.
Yeah, why would you fault them? They're the champions right now.
You can be mad at them if you want, but they're doing their job. And Unfortunately, it does make the NBA less competitive, less exciting to watch, but he's a free agent. So, I've heard people say, well, why didn't David Stern veto this when they vetoed Chris Paul coming to LA? Well, Chris Paul was being traded. DeMarcus Cousins has no restrictions on where he wants to sign. And if he wants to sign for the veterans minimum to chase a ring, he can.
Yeah.
So, and I
Damn,
mean,
I didn't know they blocked Chris Paul. He was just like, nope.
well, when he was on the Hornets, or was it the Pelicans? I don't know.
The fucking Pelicans.
Charlotte.
What a stupid name for
Yeah.
a team.
I
I mean, the
don't know.
Hornets wasn't much better, but
Yeah. So, but Chris
fucking
Paul.
Pelicans.
I think it was New Orleans.
Okay.
I don't know, but he was unhappy there. Demanded a trade. Got traded to the Lakers for Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom.
Okay.
David Stern saw this and said, no. It makes the league unfair. I'm going to veto this trade.
See, I don't think do you think you should be able to veto trades like that? Like, is that a common thing?
The only reason he was able to veto it is because during that time, the Hornets didn't have, whatever team he was on,
Yeah.
didn't have an owner and was owned by the NBA. So David Stern was able to veto it, but it's just. And then the Clippers traded for him, and they traded a bunch of just who, we were gonna give you Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom, both 2-time champions.
Yeah.
Lamar Odom 6th man of the year, and they're like, So I was like, all right. After that, I was, that's when we got Steve Nash and Dwight Howard, and that team was just a gigantic mess. And then we went back, started this rebuilding process, and finally we get to see a little light at the end of the tunnel because Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka, we finally got rid of Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak. Although Mitch Kupchak was an excellent GM. He got Dwight Howard. He did a lot for the Lakers. It just, what he put together never worked.
Okay.
But he got a bunch of big names, but I think with Magic and Rob Pelinka, we're able to start bringing in more talent, and it should be finally it's good for the NBA when the Lakers are good and the Celtics are good and all that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely good. Anytime it's good for the leagues. Anytime the big franchises are doing well. I mean, the biggest markets.
Yeah, and then
is there because I know there's been some vandalism on LeBron shit out here. Do you think that's part of the Kobe contingent?
100%.
People are upset.
100%.
There's a split in the Lakers fandom.
100%.
Really?
And I don't understand that at all. I mean, I love Kobe Bryant.
I mean,
I have autographed stuff for Kobe at my house.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I grew up watching Kobe. Kobe was my childhood hero.
You were at his last game, weren't you?
I went to his last game. But you know what? I'm not a Kobe fan. I'm a Laker fan.
Yeah.
And a lot of Laker fans are like, oh, well, he's not the king of LA. Kobe Bryant is. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, that's cool. You can love Kobe more than LeBron all you want.
Yeah.
But you don't root for the name on the back of the jersey. You root for the name on the front.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of sucking. I don't like losing. Whether I'm playing, coaching, watching, I don't like to lose.
Yeah.
And those days are now over, but a lot of fans in LA don't get it. They're like, oh, well, he's coming here to replace Kobe. And
Kobe retired. There's no more Kobe on the Lakers.
I was talking to this guy, and he's like, well, I think our young core could win a championship one year, and we just got to be patient. Yeah, maybe, but I don't want to wait another 5 to 10 years. Yeah. I want to win now.
Yeah.
Laker fans want to win now. If you don't want to win because we brought in somebody that we've been rooting against for the past 15 years,
who's the greatest player? Do you think given the opportunity, if Kobe would have gone to the Lakers or if James would have gone to the Lakers when Kobe was still playing, do you think Kobe would have been pissed? Or would he
No.
have stopped that? He would have been like, no,
No.
bring that motherfucker over here.
No.
We're going to win every game.
Yeah, no, Kobe's last season, I think we won 14 games, maybe even less than that.
Damn.
But let's say 14 just to,
All right.
you know,
Argument's sake.
it's like Kobe doesn't like to lose. Kobe came out
14 out of 82 games?
yeah. And
That's bad.
you know, I mean, Kobe came out and he said
That's worse than the Bucks.
Kobe said Magic deserves another statue in front of Staples Center for bringing LeBron James in. Like, Kobe even said that he will go to Laker games now.
He didn't go last season?
No, he hasn't gone since he retired, except for his
Ooh.
jersey retirement.
That's got to be like
He's-
if you're LeVar Ball, if you're the Ball family, that's got to be such a stab in your back, like your gut, like that's got to hurt you so
well,
bad.
I mean, that's another thing is that LeVar. That's one part I don't. That's the one thing I don't like about LeBron coming here, is LeVar Ball predicted it.
Do you think he's the second coming of Jesus?
I don't
second
know.
coming of Christ? Is
I don't know.
Really LeVar Ball?
Oh, if he is, we're all in trouble.
Could he be our next president?
Oh God.
Bet we'd all get free T-shirts. That would be cool.
That would be pretty cool. Triple B's.
Yeah. Some fucking
Big
workout.
baller-
Some
big-
fucking workout pants.
BBP, big baller for president. Yeah. No, I am so sick of LeVar's circus.
Yeah.
He is a genius marketer. He's a genius. People who don't watch basketball and have never watched basketball in their life and just have no idea what's going on in the world of sports
Yeah.
know who LeVar Ball is.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. That's,
Oh, for sure.
That's crazy. Like first, like his brand just is so big because. But
I mean, what's the leader or the matriarch of the Kardashian family? What's her name? Because he's like pulled the Kardashians. Like he's like
Yeah.
the male Kardashians. Like it would be like a Brady Bunch if they got together.
pretty much.
He took that template. Was like, I could do that.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he did. But I'm just so sick of his like little circus. And then, Lonzo Ball's hurt. He's getting microscopic surgery on his knee to repair his meniscus.
Oh, I heard that LeVar leaked that.
And
is the rumor I heard.
That's what I heard too, because of all the trade talks, and he didn't want Lonzo to go anywhere, and from what I'm hearing, that Lonzo's camp leaked it, so it would decrease his trade value, which I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying I don't have any inside source on it.
But is he going to be a 2-year player, or is it just going to be his 3rd year?
This will be his second.
His 2nd year. I mean, he was like this. Would it really decrease his trade value that much?
I think
considering how young he is.
I think it would, just because of how his rookie season went.
Okay.
He was supposed to be the next Magic Johnson. He was supposed to be the second coming of Jason Kidd. And he did have a couple good games, but he wasn't consistent shooting.
Mm-hmm.
His free throw shooting was atrocious.
You can't miss free throws.
At least in the first half of the season. I think he picked it up a little bit, but it was pretty bad. And then, and now this meniscus thing and the LeVar circus, it's gonna make him hard to trade. So,
Maybe Lithuania wants him.
man, his brothers don't even play there anymore.
Oh, really? Where do they play now?
Well, LiAngelo entered the NBA draft, did not get drafted. I mean, you don't need a magnifying glass or binoculars to see that coming from a mile away. He wasn't going to make the NBA. And if he was, his whole little charade of stealing sunglasses and dropping out of UCLA, and
That's right.
it's
Yeah.
just not going to work. And then you got LaMelo, who's currently playing in the JBA, LeVar's little league for.
Oh yeah.
know.
Yeah, where
Which-
he's paying college kids to play, right, or something like that.
And now I don't know if you saw the video of one of the coaches in that league.
No, I haven't. I didn't even know that league was up and running.
There's this video, and it's a time. It's
What's the league called?
JBA.
JBA.
During a timeout, he goes up to this player and basically calls him a bitch.
All right here, coach in the Varballs Pro League.
Yeah.
Verbally, physically abuses team player.
If you could pull that up, he calls
All
him a bitch. He pushes him, and it's like
we're gonna
that's not coaching. That's intimidation.
Yeah, we're gonna thank. You know what? Where are we going here? That's an advertisement.
I bet you can find it on YouTube. It's all over the internet.
All right, let's go right to the shows. All right, so so this just happened
a couple of days ago.
Damn. All right, so
yeah, and it's just disgusting.
JBA coach. Let's see.
And it's like if you're trying to start up this league, you can't do this.
All right, here we go. We're going to thank the fumble.
Physically assaulted one of his own ballers, so that's good.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely insane.
I don't really need to listen to those people. I just want to see the actual here. This has got to be it. Yeah.
The league, and we appreciate
yeah, it's right here.
Damn, pushing that kid. So he just walks off the court and he's pushing at him, screaming at him. He pushes him again, like closed fists, like pushing him.
And then if you listen, you can hear him. He'll be like, stop being a bitch and get the ball.
Get the fucking ball. Stop being a bitch.
Oh, then he just headbutted him at that too.
Yeah.
And then he's sitting there screaming at him, what the fuck you get? Man, so this guy, I mean, damn. To do that to any player, like, how's that going to foster? Like, that's just crazy. Like, who is that basketball coach? Bobby Knight?
Oh yeah.
I mean, at least
throw
chairs on the court. Throw a fucking chair. Don't go around headbutting your players and punching them in the chest.
Like I've never seen anything like that, and if you're trying to build up a league, that's one way not to do it.
Where's Allen Iverson when you need him?
Right? Yeah, choke him out. And then.
Oh yeah, he's played in Ice Cube's league.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And speaking of Ice Cube's league, Meta World Peace is playing. In that league.
I saw that, and who was the other person? Because I watched a set of games last week or something. But that dude that played for who was it? For the Nuggets, that white dude with all the tattoos. That was just a ball hog. Oh, what was his name? Used to have a mohawk every once in a while, but he's playing in
Birdman.
there too. Yeah, Birdman. He's in there too.
Yeah, no, but Meta World Peace got ejected from a game. I think it was 2 days ago.
For meditating?
Nah, he literally just punted the basketball. but in true meta fashion, he kind of whiffed it, and it only caught the side of his foot. So
damn.
But that's one league that I do enjoy watching.
It's fun.
It's fun. I get to see a bunch, all these older players, and tell you what, it's the JBA is a mess. There's no defense. There's no. It's not good basketball, and it's not a good look for the kids because they're not learning higher basketball, forms of basketball because they got coaches like this who believe that if you just tell them to stop being a bitch and you headbutt them, they're not learning more complicated offenses. They're not learning how to switch on defense. Like, they're not bettering their game, so when they are ready for the NBA, these top prospects, guess they're not top prospects anymore.
Yeah.
They're behind the curve now.
I mean, one thing I did support about this league when I heard it was coming out is that he wants to pay these kids.
Well,
because
obviously.
I do believe that, like, in the NCAA for basketball, for these sports that are bringing in millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in advertising contracts, like, you got to pay these fucking kids.
No, I agree. And, and I know I've known a couple college athletes, and like, the NCAA is making so much money off these kids.
Mm-hmm.
And these poor kids, they're still going to school. They don't have any money. Like, on these road trips, they're eating ramen.
Yeah.
They don't get fed. Their room and board is not where it should be, especially on the road.
Yeah. And this whole concept that a lot of them are going to, these bullshit classes is totally false. Like, these kids are going to school to be like fucking doctors and like lawyers and like engineers and like very, very like taxing physical mental things to learn, and on top of that going and playing basketball, and on top of that busting your ass to not make any money,
Yeah.
knowing that for 99% of you, like when this 4 years is done, you're done. Like that's it.
Oh, yeah.
You're never gonna put on another jersey in this fashion ever again.
Yeah, and I mean it's really unfortunate, and the NCAA needs to look at their policy. I mean, at the very least, you don't have to pay the kids. You don't have to have them sign a contract, but let them do signings.
Yeah, or let them they don't let them do deals or anything, right?
No, there's no deals. Like if you can't make money off, signing jerseys or pictures or anything. I mean, that's why Reggie Bush got in so much trouble.
For autographs?
For autographs, because he was selling his autographs.
God damn.
And
That's crazy.
Sorry for trying to better his life, make money off his name.
Yeah.
I mean,
They are.
the NCAA is. I don't know. I love college basketball. I love college football.
I
love watching it. But they need to. I think the NCAA needs to do a better job of supporting their players. Bottom line.
Yeah.
It's, and the worst part is the kids don't know any better. They're like, oh well, this sucks, but this is just how it is.
Well, and they also, I mean, if your dream is to go on to play in the NBA or play in the NFL or something like this, like you don't really have another option but to do that. Like what, you're gonna go to play in this Joker's League and get fucking headbutted for $3,000 a month? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you can go get a normal 9 to 5 to get headbutted and berated for no money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I do. So, but yeah. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Zach, is there anything else you wanted to touch on this week? I mean, I don't know if this is going to be a weekly thing, but we definitely want to have you back to talk sports here.
Oh, I mean, I could talk sports for hours.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've covered pretty much everything. I mean,
there was, I guess, just to be worldly, we should talk about the World Cup real quick. Because I guess the championship game, France and who is it?
Croatia.
France and Croatia.
And
who are you going for?
I have to go for Croatia. I have to. I've watched. I've rooted against them literally every single game they've played. I'm like, Croatia sucks. Da 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 da. Like, they don't belong here. They're one of the smallest countries ever to reach a World Cup final.
Yeah.
They've come from behind in at least 2 of the games. The England game, for sure. And they're a scrappy team, and you have to give them credit.
See, I go France.
Really?
And I'm basing all of this on, I knew a Croatian family who one of them was the mother to my youngest brother, and her whole family is a bunch of fucking cunts. They're some of the worst people I've ever met in my entire life. So, them being the only Croatians I've ever met, I got to go against Croatia. I'm sure there's many great, beautiful Croatian people, but I haven't met them, so I'm basing it all on these 4 people.
Oh, you know what? Look what I just found. Because Modric, that guy with long hair on the team, he's obviously their best player.
Yeah.
Is
that because of the hair?
I don't know. It's probably had something to do with it. But I just saw this, and it says, jail threat hangs over Luka Modric's fairy tale World Cup final.
Ooh, what's he going to jail for,
so
Zach?
He may not even play in the final.
Oh, shit. He might not even play in the final? And this is Croatia?
Yeah, it looks like...
I bet it's human trafficking.
Sports washing.
Sports washing? What's that? Is that like betting on the World Cup? Like, is he?
I think so.
The fuck?
We're gonna rush it with this.
Sports washing. That's some weird fucking.
Yeah, it looks like perjury charges, or something. I don't. It's gonna make me pay for the rest of the article, and I'm not gonna do that. But
Damn, sports washing. I don't even know what that means.
I've never heard that name before. I mean, wow, it honestly sounds like, like shaving points or something, but I don't know how you do that in soccer.
How do you shave points?
Especially in the World Cup.
Yeah,
It's like,
Maybe he was.
it's saying he's got a high-profile perjury case back home in Croatia, I guess.
Oh, so he's just
or Real Madrid, wherever he's from.
He's just a big fat liar then.
Yeah.
Guy's just a big fat fucking liar.
So, I mean, without him,
See?
I don't know.
Liars never win.
Yeah.
Remember that, Croatia.
Yeah. I do think Croatia has a great chance to do it. The thing is they don't give up, and when they do score, especially when they're behind,
Yeah.
that momentum that they have, and it doesn't matter if it's like the 90th minute, like the spark it infuses in that team is so scary.
I mean, I do love an underdog story. Like that's like if I don't have a dog in the fight, I'm always gonna go underdog. So I do love that aspect.
I do the same thing. Yeah.
So.
But I mean, it's tomorrow. I believe 11 a.m.
I think is it 11? I thought it was later than that. I thought it was or earlier than that. I thought it was like 7 a.m. our time.
I think you know what? It's 8 o'clock.
It says 8 o'clock, 11 Eastern.
Well, I'll make the second half.
Yeah. So I guess congratulations England for losing the third place game.
Yeah.
So you got beat 2-0
by
Belgium in a game that no one watched or cared about.
Yeah.
Right.
I honestly think that had to do with them coming so close to the final, and then, I mean, they lost to Croatia in extra time, and I think they're like, I just don't care.
They were just broken, yeah.
It's kind of like watching the Cavs in Game 4.
Yeah.
They just didn't try or care. You could see it.
Yeah, it's not like they take the losers of the conference championship games and have them play before the Super Bowl to see who's... Actually, that would be better than the Pro Bowl, so maybe they should start doing that.
Honestly, it would be better than the Pro Bowl. I'm so done with the Pro Bowl. I do like the skills challenge, though.
Yeah, that shit's fun to watch.
Fun.
Watching them drop footballs from drones and shit.
Yeah, that's fun. The actual game, I could live without it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Zach.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
This has been Mature Adult Time, the interview series. I'm Eric Kaz. Check us out at matureadulttime.com. And if you like what you heard or have any questions or sports-related nonsense, hit us up at podcasts@matureadulttime.com. All right. Thanks.
Wow, that was life-changing. You're welcome. Today we spoke to a person. Do you want to be that person? Hit us up. Send us an email at podcast@matureadulttime.com. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.